Good evening, everyone. I'd like to call this December 11th special call meeting to order for City Council, and invocation will be me. All bow, please. Father, thank you for this day. Thank you for letting us come together this evening to discuss city business. Let us do it in your eyes, and that we all have our voices heard and the community heard as we do this. And help us do everything in your name, Christ's name. Amen.
Yeah.
All right, stand for the pledge, please. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Would you please call the roll, please?
Councilmember Smith,
Present.
Councilmember Stallings, Councilmember Marsh,
Here.
Councilmember Crabtree,
Here.
Councilmember Craig,
Here.
Councilmember Martin,
Here.
Councilmember Sumner, Councilmember Meek, Councilmember Bogard,
Present.
Councilmember Velez,
Here.
Councilmember Bell,
Here.
Councilmember Drought.
Here.
We have a quorum.
All righty. And we're getting ready to start this year with Mike Perry, but I'd like, before we get started on that, I hope everyone has a great and happy holiday. Thank y'all. Mike, it's all you, bud. Get on it. Don't sit down twice.
All right, good evening. Of course, we're here mainly for tonight for the water park repairs, discussion on that. Of course, you know, we just repaired some pipes back in 2022. But I want to kind of go over some things with you. And of course, in your packet there, of course, you'll see the memo I wrote, and I'm not going through that verbatim, but basically we have 3 other pipes that are leaking. They actually start leaking throughout this actual season during operation. And and I basically outlined 3 options there, and also put in the memo too of some of the issues we've had over the years since day one we opened pretty much. And a lot of this is workmanship from the water park, from when the construction of the water park. Workmanship has been a nightmare out there, especially for the pipes that are underground. And of course, then what really got me concerned more than anything is when we did the repairs in 2022 is on the zero entry is that the lines that we found that the bad glue joints on a lot of them pipes. I don't know if most of y'all recall, but we basically took the zero entry of the water park and redid all them lines underneath the pool floor, and basically we had to rip the concrete out and do all that. But as we was doing that, the glue joints, what we found was the reason why them pipes were leaking. So anyway, I got some slides, and I'm going to show you some pictures and some things. But this is basically a report of past history of some pipes and some issues and some workmanship. Of course, this is back 2009, but this is actually, as you see there, you got a smaller pipe and a larger pipe on top of that, where they're sitting right on top of each other. By the engineering specs for this facility, that's not supposed to happen. Every pipe is supposed to be encased with 12 inches of dense grade stone around each pipe. Well, I can tell you right now, for every pipe in that water park we repaired since 2008, is none of these pipes are encased in stone. So what happens is when you have a pipe set on top of a pipe, especially if it's under pressure, it'll rub a hole into the pipe because it's vibrating. And that's after the first year we opened, that was the first pipe we had leaked because of that. It rubbed the hole because it's under pressure set on top of each other. Go to the next slide. This is just a crack, and this is basically actually at a fitting on the pipe. And basically, I think this one's at a 90 elbow. Can't hardly see on that picture. But this was in 2009 too. And this is, like I said, this is only 2 years after we opened. But a lot of this is, you know, you got a little bit of stone there, but it was not encased. We found basically on the left side of this pipe, if I recall correctly, you have the pool floor and the wall in a lot of these pipes. And you'll see here in some other pictures that we have issues with the concrete being poured right on top of the pipe. So what happens is that creates stress on them pipes. And they'll crack over time. So next slide. Here's, you barely see, but you actually see the concrete floor poured right on top of the pipe. There's no stone in between the pipe and the concrete. So what happens is you get that pressure on there. Then when you fill the pool up with water, you add more weight to it. And so these are some of the issues we've been faced with over the years. Next slide. This is a 10-inch weir line. This was the second year after we opened. We had this issue happen. This is another 90-degree elbow on the fitting there of the pipe that busted on us. And this is right on the outside of the wall too, where you actually had the pipe goes through a wall, and the force of that wall actually it settled just a little bit, and it cracked the pipe. Next slide. These are the glue joints I was telling you about. This is where we did the zero entry repairs. But you see if you look at the broken piece of pipe there, and you see the actual bail of the other pipe, you'll actually see the little holes in the glue. That's air, and basically water's been seeping through them probably since we've been open. And so what happens is when water seeps through that over time and it's under pressure, it'll actually work that glue, and basically like erosion, like ground erosion, it'll erode that glue away. So work it away. Next slide. This is just another prime example of a pull wall sitting right on top of a pipe. And this is a vertical wall that's about 4 foot tall, and it's sitting right on top of that pipe. So, but these are some, like I said, some things we've had noticed as we've done repairs over the years. Next slide. This is a pipe. Basically, you got a trunk line pipe, and you had a reducer there. It goes into a 2.5 inch. It's basically a chemical return line. But a lot of times you have these pipes now that gets under pressure, and they'll snap on you, and we have to replace them. I know the talk's been, we've been fortunate enough to be able to line some pipe here the last couple of years, but this pipe here would not be a candidate for relining, because you can only reline the trunk pipe. You can't reline the actual reduced line off of that, because you cannot get anything, no equipment in that side of that pipe to actually pull a liner in there. Next slide. This is just another evidence of a pipe coming off a main trunk line, and it goes through a wall. But this is not a cracked pipe. This is something when we're actually repairing another line. But these are issues that will fail over time eventually. Next slide. This is just we actually repaired this in house, but actually this is a line that didn't actually break, but it actually settled. And it put our valve and our flex joint there at the pump. It put it in a bind, so we actually had to dig that out and raise that pipe up just to get it where we wasn't in a bind anymore. I don't remember what year this was. It was probably around Blaine Ethill was with us then, but probably around 2017, 2018. So, all right, next slide. This is just another evidence. This is another pipe that we repaired. Of course, it's not actually the pipe we repaired there, but this excavation we had to do in house. And this was actually a gutter line that comes off right there where the blue slide's at. But we actually it broke on the other side of the picture of this, but it actually where it went through a wall, the vertical wall, and it basically had pressure on it and cracked it. Next slide. This is actually the other side of that wall I was telling you about. We had to go and jackhammer out to get to the pipe because it's encased in concrete. Next slide. This is actually a slide of where we actually replaced all of the line that goes to the Lazy River. As y'all recall, some of you might recall, we had an issue with Lazy River, and basically the line underneath the pool floor busted. So we rerouted that line outside the Lazy River in the concrete and rerouted that whole line, put a whole new line in. This is very interesting here, and this is what you find a lot of times digging out at the water park. There's 11 lines right there, 11 pipes in that one picture. It's like spaghetti, and you find that all over the place. But you got that line crisscrossing right there on top. They're sitting on top of each other, and these are some of the issues that you come up with, that we have come up with and noticed as we do some of these repairs. Like I said, and there is no true as-built. So for people that don't know what a true as-built drawings are, as-built is when you're doing a facility, you have the construction drawings. Well, when you as-built is when you change something in the as-built, you go in there and you mark it on that drawing. Well, we have no true as-built. They're not correct. Everything on them drawings, and when you dig up, it's not what's on the drawing. So I'll just let you know that. Next slide. It's just a pipe that busted. It is a 2.5 inch that goes through a wall there. Basically, the wall probably just settled. It don't take the wall much to settle. It can settle just an 1/8 of an inch, and it's going to crack a pipe. And that's basically what happened here. Next slide. This is this is in the pump house. This happened in 2022, but basically this was fatigue of a pipe. Luckily, we can fix these pretty easy because you can see them. But you know, the facility is 20 years old, or going on 20 years this coming year, so it's getting some age on it. But you know, we have a lot of glue joints in the pump house that needs to be redone too. So which, like I said, them are easy projects because you can fix them because you can see them pretty easy. It's the issue. What we have is what's underground. Next slide. This is when we did the serial entry and we had to do some repairs to the walls. When we pulled the liner out, we found out that some of the walls there for the gutter line was deteriorated so bad that they couldn't even put any fasteners into the wall for the liners. So we had to do some major repairs on that. And you have other areas in the pool now it's getting in bad shape. Next slide. This is just another picture of the Lazy River. We had to go cut out the concrete and replace all them lines. And I mean, not Lazy River, but the zero turn. This is where we placed them in 2022. Next slide. This one here, I want to show you, this was this year. This is a camera system that we run through the pipe. If you can see right there, you got a nice long crack, horizontal crack right there in that pipe. We had that pipe lined this year before we opened. Which y'all was generous enough to give us $50,000 in the maintenance budget to help maintain some of these things, but we had that line this year. And as far as we know, that pipe it's held up pretty decent from that fix. But like I said, that really concerns me when you have a crack like that in a pipe. So how many more is going to do that? You know, I can't guarantee you, even if we decide to repair what we have issues with now, that you're not going to have another issue come next year or the year after. It's gotten to the point now. I think we're just putting Band-Aids on it. So we're not doing us any justice. We're putting good money towards the bad. So, but I think that's the last slide. And of course, then I have the options there. Option one is basically repair what we have now. Estimated cost of around $350,000, $400,000. This is a rough estimate cost. And like I said, we don't know exactly where the leaks are. We know what lines they are, but we can smoke test, run cameras through it. But we haven't done that yet because we really want council to really decide what direction we want to go before we do that. Option two is basically replace every line underground. That's why you have no issues no more, or just redo the whole water park. To reassure that you're not going to have these issues in the future. And that would be oversight of Public Works. If y'all decide to do that, we would oversee that project, make sure it's done correctly. Then of course, the other option is just close the water park. And of course, we still have one payment left, which would be paid off February 2026, this coming year. Bond payment of $157,180. But that's, basically, to sum everything up, it's I don't want to be in this situation again 2 years now, 3 years now, but it's really y'all's option of what you want to do with the water park and what direction you want us to go. I won't give you my opinion unless you ask for it. But beyond that, any questions?
Any questions from Mike? All right, we'll start right to Brittany.
The things that you
Randy.
have repaired thus far, are those things having to be repeatedly repaired? Or are there other things that are coming out?
No, it's more or less what we repair is good. Well, the problem is though, we're not repairing the whole line.
Oh, he said he couldn't hear.
Okay, we're not repairing the whole. So if we have an issue and that line is, say that pipe is 300 feet long from the pump house to the pool, because all these pipes go back to the pump house. So the pump house is roughly 200 to 300 feet away from certain pipes in the pool. We're only repairing the location where it's leaking. We're not doing the whole pipe because it don't warrant to repair the whole pipe, because you're talking about major dollars if you do that. So there's no guarantee though what we repaired. What we repair is holding up. But the problem is though, what's happening with the rest of that pipe. So that's our issue right now. Three years ago.
Several different issues with pipes and pipes crossing. How is that not a liability of the contractor who built it?
Well, here's the issue. Works didn't oversee the project, of course. This wasn't our project at the time. It was overseen by Community Development Service. Well, actually, Hopkinsville Christian County Planning Commission at the time, what it was named. They oversaw the project. We had nothing to do with that project at that time.
I think it would be a good idea for Mr. Willing to answer that question.
Yeah, he can answer that.
One question.
Yeah.
We would need to go into closed session to discuss. I can tell you that back in 2009, I believe, we've already had litigation on this issue once.
Did we win?
Yes,
Yes.
but we can't talk about it right now.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Travis, did you had your hand up a while ago, and then we'll go back to Vance.
When was it built? Like the
2000,
original?
it was constructed in 2006, opened in 2007.
Okay. And when it was built, was there a spec blueprint as to what to follow for the, well, like the pipe going in the ground? Was there,
There's drawings for that,
did
yes.
the specs call for
Specs calls
gravel?
for 12 inches of stone all around each pipe,
And
yes.
everywhere you're digging up, that's not the case.
That's not the case.
Not the case at
So
all.
that was my next question. Do we have legal recourse?
That'd be in
We'll have to
closed
go in
session.
closed session and talk about that. Because we have already had a suit over this.
All right.
Vance, you had your hand up.
Yes, sir. Mike, is the water park generating the money that we forecasted it to generate? Is it in the red or is it in the green?
Well, I don't know if it whatever was forecasted though, to be honest with you, but no,
Yeah.
we're never in the green. It's always in the red. You're anywhere from, some years, I think financial, what we put, one year was 25,000 upside down, then, most years though, we're around 75,000 or so, somewhere around there. Is that correct?
We're
Melissa?
never made a profit on this.
Right.
Never.
And I think the way the water park was built is it was built more of a quality of life thing than it was to
Right.
make
It's
money.
not intended to make.
No, it's not to make a profit, it's quality. Brittany, you had your hand up, ma'am. February.
February 2026.
February, right there, 26.
And then if we chose option one, what is the timeline on the repairs?
Well, the issue is even if it goes to two votes for y'all to approve funding to repair it, then by the time you go through the bid process and you get a contractor in there, you probably won't be open this year in 2026. It will probably be 2027 before you open. Because, and a lot of it's going to depend on exactly where that line is actually broke. If it's underneath the concrete floor, it'll take longer. But I mean, you could be up for 2027, but you would not probably be open for 2026.
So do we know exactly what it needs to be repaired?
No, we know what lines are leaking because we did
Okay.
water testing, but we
We won't know till we dig it up.
well, we won't know. They either have to run a camera system to it or smoke test.
Do you already have someone in place to run a camera system through
Yeah,
it?
we can get
or-
that lined up pretty quick.
Okay.
Chuck,
So I got a question for you, but to answer Vance's question, the best year the water park's ever had was the year it was closed for COVID. Okay?
Okay.
it is true.
That is true.
Yeah.
So, Mike, I got two questions. If we were to select option one, what do you think the water park would be like? Would it be ready to take on the 2026 season?
No, I do not see us
Okay.
making that deadline.
Next question. If we were to do option two, we would not be able to open the water park in 2026, correct?
That's correct.
So here's what I'm thinking, and I'm just throwing this out here as an idea. It ain't opening.
It's not open.
Just, it ain't opening next year.
It can open next year because right now we had a $70,000 water bill this year.
Okay, we'll get to that. What I think we as a council ought to do is we should take a step back. You have other options. Option three was to just, close the water park. Why don't we as a council come back at the next council of the whole meeting and fully discuss what we think? My idea is look at one, what does the community want? Even more important, what is the community willing to pay for? And then put together a group of people, council members, people in the community, and say, okay, we got a blank slate. We can fix it, and we got to fix it right or not fix it at all, in my opinion, because it's going to fall apart. Or do we repurpose it? Could it be used for something else? And let them, group of people in the community, come back and say, this is what we want, and then we go from there. Now, as part of that, we're going to have a lot of numbers from Melissa. I had the former finance officer bring the numbers twice. We need those numbers for the last 20 years. Every expense categorized, every bit of revenue that is generated and see how much it's lost or gained every year. And whoever is the group that's meeting with that and council members are going to need that by year and have the right information to make the best decision that the people of Hopkinsville want. Now, I'm glad we did. I hope we're not going to make a decision tonight. And the reason I say that, if you were to go in and redo the water park, Mike's saying 4 million, I say probably 5. If you just put it back like it is, but you fix it, you may want to do something else to it. Whatever's done is going to be a 20-year thing. So if you put in your calculator $5 million and you divide that by 30,700, I think it's $162.87 per person. Now, I know I wouldn't want to go to Amy's house and say, hey, we need $162.87 for a water park. But we need that for every member because that's what it's going to cost us to have it here. So we need really, it's so long, a lot of money. I think on this one, we need some community input. So that would be my recommendation, and I'll make a motion if that's what council wants to do.
I'd like to second it, that we go with Chuck Rick.
Okay. All right, we got Chuck's motion to study this a little bit and bring it back to the committee of the whole in January
Bring it back to committee whole and decide what.
for discussion, and then we move forward. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. Got a motion and a second on the floor. Any discussion about this motion? Don?
I do. I agree with Chuck, tremendous amount as far as getting all the numbers and having a clear understanding of the profitability and the cost that's involved. One thing that we really have not talked about, if we have to call a closed session to discuss the legal ramifications of that, I'd like to make sure that we can do that before, at least before we get this motion taken care of, because right now we're talking about what are we going to do, even if it means having some kind of expense to the citizens. I still want to find out the responsibilities and the liability that the original insurance company
January
that
the
backs the
6th, we
contractor.
can do the closed session on January 6th, the first council meeting of the new year.
He just said he can bring the file with him as well.
Right. Doug brings what he's
All the
got,
information.
Melissa brings what
That'd be
she's
really great.
got.
I have a number of questions concerning that.
That's smart.
Good idea.
It's
All right.
council members, remember 70% of the people that use it don't live here.
Correct.
100% of the people that will pay for it do. Take your time.
Yes, we don't have to make a decision tonight. We don't have to make a decision next month. Only thing we do have to make a decision on is on the closing of it for the year, so we can contract our people that contract work for us out there, or lifeguards and so on. So we, this does affect obligations that the city is already having, and Mike and him have already got to take care of that. But we will need to be making this decision in committee of the whole in January, but we will have a special closed session on the January the 6th on our first council meeting to discuss some of this. Okay?
Well, excuse me, may I speak?
Yes.
Can this decision to close it or not be made as an amendment to the current motion, or should we make another one?
Another one, if that's, I don't know, time.
Well, we know we're not going to probably open 2026 anyway, so we can go ahead and notify our third-party management company
Right.
for operations, let them know we're not opening this year. We got to do it in writing in 30 days, though, where we don't owe them any money.
No.
So
So let's vote on this motion that we have on the floor, and then we'll open it back up for another motion for the year. Yes. All right. Any more discussion about the motion that Chuck and Mr. Velez brought up?
I just want to say one thing.
Yes, ma'am.
I agree with Chuck as well. And I think another thing we need to keep in mind is that there's not a huge rush here. We know that it's not going to open this season anyways. This is such a huge decision that I think we probably do need to have more than just a 30-minute discussion on it. No, but I mean, the only thing I would say is I don't think we should go with option one. When we get to this point where we are discussing, we have put so much money into the water park, fixing little problems here and there, that realistically, if we're planning to keep the water park, we're going to have to go with option two and probably spend more to to make sure that we're actually fixing the problem instead of just fixing things here and there and spending hundreds of $1,000s every year, knowing that it's still not fixed. So I think that we've got some decisions ahead of us as far as what exactly we're willing to spend and what we want to do. But knowing that it's not going to open this year gives us some time to really study it out. So that's my thoughts.
Mayor, I would like to say one more thing.
Yes, sir.
Mike, you guys were in a hole when you took over this. There was problems with it from the get-go. I see social media and people say, oh, they should do more. I think you and Blaine and all the rest of your team, you guys have done a really good job with what you've had to work with. And I don't think people understand what you had to work with from the beginning. The second part of that, and I guess maybe I'm part of it too, but council kind of let you down too, because there was maintenance early on that needed to be done, and it was postponed for many years, and council 3 or 4 years ago took that on. If we as a council decide ultimately we want to put a good amount of money in this, we need to understand that it's going to have to be maintained, and they're going to have the resources from the
Exactly.
get-go, and that's just going to have to be part of it, and it needs to be built into the budget. So we're not here again if we do move forward. So thank you.
I agree with you on that,
Agreed.
Chuck. You know, we have to start putting our facilities on the forefront instead of waiting to, you know, we've got 4 ball tires on this water park, and we didn't put enough plugs in it. We can't plug it no more.
Mayor,
Yes, sir.
Running on rims on the.
Guys, hold
on
yourself.
that thing.
let me defend council.
Yes.
I can tell you, previous administrations and my predecessors didn't allow it to come to council.
Correct.
It was not in the budget to repair. So let's defend council on that. It didn't get down
No.
here.
We're paying the price for it now.
Yeah.
You know, I've heard this since the day I walked upstairs into that office, that repairs were not on the list. We are repairing and living what we have. So,
Well, I agree with Amy. I agree with Amy, and I think most of us probably feel the same way. We can't see putting more taxpayer
No.
dollars into trying to put a Band-Aid on
but
You
let's
know.
fix it right.
no. That's right.
All right, let's have a vote. If you call the roll on this.
We're voting on Chuck's motion.
Yes, we're voting on Chuck's motion.
Councilmember Drought,
Yes.
Councilmember Smith,
Yes.
Councilmember Stallings,
Yes.
Councilmember Marsh,
Yes.
Councilmember Crabtree,
Yes.
Councilmember Craig,
Yes.
Councilmember Martin,
Yes.
Councilmember Bogard,
Yes.
Councilmember Velez,
Absolutely.
Councilmember Bell.
Yes.
That motion passes.
All righty.
Thank
I
you.
will be getting with y'all and getting this committee formed. Yes, ma'am.
Do we need a motion to close the water park for the season? Or does
Yes.
that not need to
No,
happen?
we need to make a motion on that.
Then I'll make a motion that we close the water park for the 2026 season.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Ms. Stallings, any discussion on that before I call that out there? Okay, seeing no discussion, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. All righty. Thank y'all. But we are going to have some very deep conversations on this, $4 million, I'm figuring about 5 to 6 million, but we have to look at it because everything goes up every day. Yes, ma'am.
One more question. Is it possible, Mike, where did you go, Mike?
He's
Oh,
still
there
here.
you are. No, you can stay there. Is
ran.
it possible to go ahead and see if we can get any kind of a bid to, I mean, like, I know you said you would oversee it in-house, but I mean, I feel like we need a few ideas of exactly what we're looking at as far as not only just repairs, but maybe if we did want to increase the amenities at the water park, what that would cost. I think it would be nice to have some figures in the future. So
Yeah, we can get some stuff about it for you. Of course, it all depends what amenities you want too.
I
mean,
know, and I get that. That's why we need options.
Because the water park originally was supposed to be, my understanding was supposed to be built with a wave pool,
Right.
and it was not. That was cut out. And of course, so yeah, I can get you some numbers on, we can get some experts come in and some quotes on that. We'll share the drawings that we have, and maybe they can go off the drawings that's there now just to replace the pipes. And then we can add in some other amenities And that's why y'all can look at, okay, maybe this is what we can do and what we can't do.
Sounds like a lot of things were cut out.
A lot of things.
Oh,
were
it
cooked.
was. Well,
A lot
and I think,
was.
and the one thing I didn't share though too was, I wasn't part of this project, but I've heard that the state come in and made them rip out about half of the pipes after they put them in. And because it wasn't up to specs. And I'm sure this is where some of this stuff got shortcutted too, when they put them back in. And I don't know how it did not get inspected and not, they didn't see this stuff. But anyways, it's just one of them things that's why I preach all the time is you need to make sure that you hire experts in their fields to do these things. And you make sure also that you have a full-time inspector on site. Because these are some of the issues that you run into and you pay for it in the long run. It's better off to pay for it at the front end than it is in over the years because it still costs you more money.
Good preaching.
Roy, you had something to say?
So Mike, what type of company was it that built the water park?
The general contractor was an ag construction company, basically put in grain bins.
The council member, when you go back to say like the skateboard park, we hired a skateboard park company. So you've never had any issues?
Well, and I think it goes back to is you don't take the lowest bid, you take the best bid, but you also, for the city, but you also make sure that whoever you're hiring is experts in what you're doing and they have 10 years experience or more. That's the only way you resolve some of these issues that happened in the past.
This park has been a drain for 19 years. It will be 20 in February. It has been a drain. It's supposed to be a quality of life issue, but a quality of life of putting $300,000 to $400,000 into it every 2 years is not quality of, not being smart money.
Yeah.
So, but also when we look at this, I asked council on this committee that we formed to look at it 3.5 months out of the year for $4 to $6 million is something we need to look at too. 3.5 months, and I talk to a lot of people that go out there. I've been out there. No, it's not the citizens of Hopkinsville, unless you're talking about my granddaughter or one of them. They're tickled to death with it. But it's the folks that come to that tiebreaker ballpark. It's the folks that come from Fort Campbell. It's the folks that spend the night at the ballpark to play the tournament. The kids got to play in it before they went to the motel and so on. So we need to look at how we're going to make this water park more than just 3.5 months. It needs a cover. If we're going to do something, let's make it right. And that's one way to look at it and what it's going to cost to do it. All right. Any other discussion on the water park before we move into Chief Utron? Come on down, Chief. It's up to you. Item B, EMS Captain job positions.
Good evening. This won't take long, I promise you. We are asking, and it is kind of in the middle of the budget year, so I'll explain that. We're asking to add 3 additional personnel. It is on our EMS side. They are EMS officers. The reason for now is we've been working on a House bill in Kentucky for about 4 years. It's House Bill 152. It adds additional funding to ambulance services that are ran by government services like ourselves. That additional revenue will be for us between $550,000 and $800,000 a year. That is based off of our run volume for Medicaid patients. It did pass this year unanimously, and the governor has signed that into law. It is slated to start January 1st, but because it's Medicaid and federal funding, we don't know when it's going to start. The company that we worked with to apply for this program said they think that it could start January 1st or sometime third quarter of 2026. They just don't know. There's also no repayment for that. So what we're asking to do is to begin a process that if it starts in January, we can promote in January. 100% of this will be refunded from the ambulance board, who has already voted on this and voted unanimously to approve it. So I need you as the body to approve these 3 positions that'll be new positions for the Hopkinsville Fire Department. EMS only officers is what they will be.
So I make the motion that we
I'll
accept.
second.
All right, I got all kinds of seconds. We're in good shape there, Chuck. So Vance solid got it up in there too, so we'll take Vance as our second. All right. Any more discussion on that? Okay.
Yes,
We'll have to add that job in the pay classification plan.
yes. So we need approval for the positions and the pay classification plan. which is in your packet.
I have something to add as well.
Come on up.
Well, now, it will require a budget amendment to add the money to the departmental budget and the revenue coming in. So this will require a budget amendment to make this happen.
And that will basically pass through?
Yes.
Okay.
There will be a pass-through, correct? It ain't gonna cost us nothing. That's why I'm trying to
Do
make
we
sure
need
it's
to
clear.
amend the motion somehow?
Yes.
Ideally.
How about this? Let me withdraw my motion, and then I'll make a second motion that we adopt both the captain promotion and the things that we need to do.
Pay classification and the budget
And the
amendment.
budget amendment.
Second.
I'll second.
There we go.
Thank you.
All right, we, Chuck, got a
I'll
second?
second that motion.
Okay, we got all that done.
I was just going to ask Chief, now, these
sir.
promotions will come from within house, you said?
Yes, sir.
So
They
will there be
for
an
you.
additional hiring of 3 people to take their places?
To take their place, yes, sir.
I
But that's
see.
already approved and in there. Yes, sir.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay. All right. We've got the new motion and a second. Any more discussion? Got that wrote down the way it's supposed to be there? Okay. All right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that
Thank you.
passes. Thank you, Steve.
Thank you, Chief.
All righty. We're down to item 7, adjournment. Oh, nope, we gotta go to item 6. Gotta do approval of minutes for December the 2nd, 2025, regular meeting.
I'll move.
Second.
A motion is second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All righty.
Motion to adjourn.
All right, we
Second.
got a motion and a second to adjourn.
He beat me.
Thank you. We are adjourned. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Thank you. Happy holidays.